Welcome to the EDU-TRIBE channel. On this channel, we discuss education and business, and I have been talking about being a teacher of value. So to close this series, I want to speak to those teachers who are thinking of changing jobs at the end of the year. In org learning, we have annual contracts. So at the end of the year, we don't deceive ourselves. We call all our teachers and we ask them, are you returning or not returning? If you're not returning, we begin to plan to replace you. But one thing we do, we must pay you all your salary till the last day. So our teachers are forthcoming and honest. They tell us in advance. Some tell us 6 months, some tell us a whole year. I will not be returning because this is what I'm doing. So if you're one of the teachers who will not be returning to your school, maybe you have cause to change your job. I am here to tell you a few things that you can do so that the next interview you attend, you grab that job. We're talking about teachers that have value. But the truth is, some teachers have value, but can't express it. They can't share it. They can't tell. Nobody can see it because they are not intentional about showcasing their value. They are not intentional about putting themselves together. They do not have a portfolio. In my last video, I talked about preparing portfolios for your children. That is one thing that will make your current school know that you are a tribe member, that you have value. So listen to that video. But today I am talking about your own portfolio. If you are planning to change jobs, begin now to put together a portfolio for yourself. I have interviewed, hundreds, or should I say thousands of teachers for org learning and the other schools that I work for. When teachers sit before me, there are a few things I look out for, and that's what I'll be sharing with you today, just in case you plan to change jobs. I don't want you to. I want you to stay in the school that you're in and help that school grow. But if you don't want to stay there and you want to change, here are a few things you need to do. First of all, you will write an application. So you should have a CV. Your portfolio should have your CV. Your CV should have a covering letter that just summarizes you, your philosophy especially. And then you should have the covering document. That is the covering document. Then you should have the attached document, a proper resume that shows your background, educational, brief personal history, your achievements, where you've worked. You know what is in a CV. If you don't, then you can Google that. So you have a covering letter and then you have a proper resume. That is the number one thing that should be in your portfolio. We are talking about a teacher's portfolio, especially for those who plan to change jobs. When teachers walk into any room I'm sitting to interview, I can tell you one thing. At the door, as they step in, they have either lost 10, 20% or they have grabbed 10, 20%. I once talked about an interview I attended in the US in a school district. And I walked into the room. I sat with the district coordinators and I left, and nobody asked me any question about education, my teaching, or anything else. We were talking about my outfit till I left the room and I got that job. See, that first impression matters. So you need to dress well. You need to be well groomed. I see a lot of tacky teachers with dirty nails, hair unkept, shirt unironed, everything just looking horrible. You've already lost the job before you start to tell me your story. So it's important that you are well put together. Get that suit, if it's just one. regardless of where you get it from. Just make sure that there's this outfit that you wear when you want to impress, because it is important that when you open that door, you impress. As teachers, you're role models, so I am thinking this is how the students will look. So make sure you have that dress, that shirt, that pants, that suit, that shoe that you will wear when you want to impress, and wear it to that interview. So know this, that you must first look okay. Brush your teeth. Not when you open your mouth, everybody wants to run away. You will lose the job. So please ensure you're well groomed, right? So you have a CV in your portfolio and you are well put together. The next thing you must learn to do is to have an actual portfolio, which is a gathering of all that you have done. It can be electronic in your laptop or your iPad. It can be a paper portfolio. When teachers sit down, you ask them, tell me what you've done. And then they talk and talk and talk. But there is no evidence. Do you know you can have evidence of what you've done? So you should have a folder that has certificates of the trainings you have attended. That has letters, memos, flyers. Maybe you hosted a spelling bee in your school. Have that flyer in your portfolio. Have a letter of recommendation. Have something to show what you have done. You're a great teacher. Your students have been doing well. You should have records of your students' performance. You ask a teacher, so how do your students perform? And the response is they do very well. What does that mean? It means nothing. You should be able to give me proper details with evidence. I am very good at this. When I started, this is how my students were, and this is where they are right now. And then you produce an evidence. Here is an evidence of their last performance. Here is a document showing their entry performance. Now, this is what I did. First, I created intervention program for them. Second, I got this. You should be able to convince us that you know what you did. You should have pictures, you should have flyers, you should have samples of work in your portfolio. When you open that portfolio, you don't need to talk much. You have convinced me. Letters of recommendations from your head of department, from your school. If you've been doing great things, then you will have something to show for it. And if you have not consciously gathered them, start now to gather them together. So I expect to see pictures. I expect to see flyers. I expect to see letters of recommendation. I expect to see any other thing, maybe project presentations, right? You took a picture. Some of you do really amazing projects. You did not record, you did not video, you didn't even take a picture. You should be able to flip your phone and show me slides. This is when I hosted this. This is when I did this project. This is when I took my children to the farm. This is when we harvested our crops. This is what I did. You have a powerful portfolio. I have some really amazing teachers in org learning. I have an agric teacher who has done fish farm. She's done poultry. She's done all sorts. She should have pictures of all of them. We even design flyers for her. She should have all of that in her portfolio, so that when you go to a place, you don't just speak, you show what you've done. Portfolios are a lifesaver. Whether locally or internationally, you should have evidence of work that you have done. So go work on your portfolio right away. And maybe I will look at some of them when we meet at the EDU-TRIBE conference. Maria Onya, the EDU-TRIBE channel. Subscribe, like, share, and go fix that portfolio, because you will need it sometime. And even if you don't use it, it will make you happy. You will know how great you have been. Have a fabulous weekend. God bless you.